there, and welcome to this day in history for June 5th. June 5th is the 156th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 157th in leap years, with 209 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is moribund. Moribund. Moribund is an adjective that means nearing death or stagnant, lacking vigor or vitality. This comes to us through Latin from Indo-European root words from which we also get mordant, amaranth, morbid, mortal, mortgage, nightmare, and ambrosia. Earliest documented use is 1721. And with that, we're going to start in the year 1837 when the city of Houston was incorporated. On June 5, 1837, Denmark became a constitutional monarchy with the signing of the new constitution. This is the birthday of American Sheriff Pat Garrett, born June 5, 1850. He became renowned for killing the outlaw Billy the Kid. Pat Garrett lived to the age of 57. This is the birthday of Pancho Villa, born June 5, 1878. Pancho Villa was a Mexican revolutionary general and one of the most prominent figures of the Mexican Revolution. Pancho Villa only lived to the age of 45, though. He was assassinated. Now, exactly who was behind this assassination and why, we're unclear to this day. Theories abound, but not so much in the way of solid evidence. The first regularly scheduled Orient Express departed Paris on June 5, 1883. This is the birthday of English economist, philosopher, and academic John Maynard Keynes, born June 5, 1883. His ideas have come to be the basis for a school of thought known as Keynesian economics. I don't quite understand what exactly all that means, but I've certainly heard people talk about it. He lived to the age of 62. On June 5, 1893, the trial of Lizzie Borden began in New Bedford, Massachusetts. She was accused of the murder of her father and stepmother. FDR took the United States off the gold standard on June 5, 1933. This is the birthday of Welsh author Ken Follett, born June 5, 1949. He's a prolific author. Several of his works have been made into movies and television miniseries. Eye of the Needle, for example, or On Wings of Eagles, to name a couple. Elvis Presley introduced his new single, Hound Dog, on the Milton Berle Show on June 5, 1956. This was a controversial performance at the time because of the way Elvis moved. Oh my goodness. If only they'd known what was coming in the next 50 to 60 years. Now when you go back and look for a video clip, some of the comments are more controversial than the performance, and that is why I did not link it to you in the show notes. You could certainly go to YouTube and search the terms Elvis Presley Milton Berle 1956. Presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated by Sirhan Sirhan on June 5, 1968. On June 5, 1981, the Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported that 5 people in Los Angeles, California had a rare form of pneumonia seen only in patients with weakened immune systems. These turned out to be the first recognized cases of AIDS. A strike began at a General Motors parts factory in Flint, Michigan on June 5, 1998. That strike quickly spread to 5 other assembly plants and lasted 7 weeks. Well, as if it's not enough to be tornado season, on June 5, 2001, Tropical Storm Allison made landfall on the Texas coast. Allison is particularly remarkable for having lasted an unusually long time, 16 days, without ever becoming a hurricane. The storm dropped insanely heavy amounts of rain in Texas, with the worst flooding occurring in Houston, leaving 30,000 people homeless. Allison caused $8.5 billion worth of damage. Several other states were affected by Tropical Storm Allison as well, with the most affected other states being Louisiana, of course, and interestingly, Pennsylvania. Allison was the costliest Atlantic tropical cyclone that never became a hurricane and was the first Atlantic tropical storm to have its name retired without ever having reached hurricane strength. Former President Reagan passed away on June 5, 2004. He was 93. The great science fiction writer Ray Bradbury passed away on June 5, 2012. His works include Fahrenheit 451, The Martian Chronicles, The Illustrated Man, I Sing the Body Electric, just to name a few. Mr. Bradbury was 91 at the time of his passing. A great inspiration to me as a writer. He had great writing discipline. Ray Bradbury. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that is called, no really. You can also find me on Rumble, Parler, BitChute, and Getter. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.